ሰላም ተማሪዎች እንደምን አላችሁ? ዛሬም የማትሪክ ጥያቄዎችን on complex number ይዤላችሁ መጥቻለሁ. We have a complex number that is z is equal to what? As such forms. Let's say this one is what? X. Let's say this one is what? That is y. So here we have what? We express this as a form of what? X plus what? I, y forms. So to find or to evaluate z to the power of 3, we first find what? The norm of this z or modulus of what? Z, which is equal to is x square plus what? That is y square. In our case, what is the value of x? X means what? The square root of 2 times what? Cos of pi over 12. Here we have square it. Plus the y value is what? That means the square root of 2 times what? Times sine pi over what? That is 12. Square it. Then what for? When you square this one, the square of root of square is what? That is a square that is 2 into the square of cos square pi over 12 is what? Still that is cos square pi over 12. Similarly, for the case of square root of what? 2 times sine pi over 12 is what? This is 2 times sine square pi over 12 is. If that's so, what is common here? The common one is what? That is 2. Take 2 common. 2 into, it becomes what? Cos a square pi over 12 plus what? That is sine a square pi over what? That is 12. Here we have. You know that cos square pi over 12 plus sine square pi over 12 is what? That is identity 1. Since sine square theta plus cos square theta is what? That is 1. This implies that this is equal to the square root of what? That is 2. After obtaining this radius or modulus of z, that is r, we can express z to the power of 3 as such forms, which is equal to what? R to the power of 3 times what? That is cos of 3 theta plus what? This is I sine 3 theta. We are familiar for this one. In our case, what is r? That means the square root of 2, that the modulus square root of 2q into what? This is cos of 3 times our theta is what? That is pi over 12, yes, in our case. Plus, here is I sine 3 times what? That is pi over 12. Here we have. Then what for? That means the square root of 2 cube means what? Which is equals 2 times what? The square root of 2. Here we have cos of, we cancel by 3, this is 1, 12 by 3, that is 4. So it becomes what? Pi over 4. The same for the case of sine. This is plus I sine of what? Of pi over 4. We are familiar that sine pi over 4 means that is, and cos pi over 4 means what? That is 45 degree. So we are, this is common trigonometric value, it becomes what? This is equal to 2 times the square root of 2 into cos pi over 4 is what? That is 1 over root 2. Plus this one is what? I times what? 1 over root 2 means what? I over root 2. Here we have. What is common here? We have the denominator 1 over root 2 is common, which implies what? 2 times the square root of 2 divided by what? The square root of that is 2 into what remains? 1 plus I. Here we have. After that, we cancel what? Root 2 by root 2, what remains? Which is equal to 2 into what? This is 1 plus what? That is I. When distribute or multiply both by 2, this becomes what? 2 plus what? That is twice I. So our answer is what? Or the value of z cube is equals what? 2 plus 2i. Which one contains in this choice? The choice A is what? The correct answer. The correct answer is this one. Similarly, what are the values of what? U and V. We asked the value of U and V from the given equation here we have. In this case, what shall we do? We have what? That means U plus, this is 3i, divided by what? That means 4. 4 minus 2i means what? What is common? Here we have common is what? 2 into, that is 2 minus I. Here we have. Is equivalent to 2 plus Vi over what? That is 20. Here we have 2 is in the denominator. Here we have 20 also in the denominator. We cancel this by 2. This is 1. This by 2. What we have? That is 10. After that, we can crisscross these values. This becomes what? That is U plus, that is 3i, times what? This is 10, is equal to 2 plus, this is Vi, times what? There is 2 minus I. Here we have. We distribute or multiply 10 by the left one. This is what? 10u plus what? This is 13i. 30i. Which is equal to, when multiply this 2 by 2, that is 4. 2 times minus 2i, that is minus I. Vi plus 2 is what? That is 2vi. Vi times minus I is what? Since I times I square, here we have negative. I square is negative, so it becomes what? That is V. What for? This is equal to 10u plus what? That is 30i, which is equal to, collect like terms. That means the real part with the real part, the imaginary with imaginary. That means what? 4 plus, that is V, plus what? That is 2V minus 2. This is the complex or the imaginary part, sorry, at the right side. After that, these two values are equal if and only if what? The real part is equal to the real part of the right side. The imaginary at the left side must be what? Equivalent to what? The imaginary at the right side. This implies what? This is true if and only if what? This is 10u is equal to 4 plus what? This is 4 plus v. And the imaginary at the left side, that is 30, must be equivalent to what? That is twice of v minus 2 here. So at the right side, that means 2v minus 2, we can solve v from here. This means 32 is equal to what? 2v, since we take negative 2 to the left side. What the value of v? Divided by 2, divided by 2. This implies what the value of v? V is equal to 16. We obtained v16. If that's so, we can find the value of u by substituting v in this equation. This implies 10u is equal to 4 plus, that is 16. Which is equal to what? Which is equal to 20. So, to find u, divide both sides by 10. The value of u is equal to what? 20 divided by 10, that is 2. So, the value of u is, that is 2. The value of v is what? That is 16. So, from the given alternative, the correct answer is what? That is C. Similarly, if z is equal to what? 2 minus 4i plus over what? 1 plus I. Then the modulus of what? The conjugate of the z. What is the modulus of this? The modulus is, we know that z is equal to what? The modulus of z is equal to what? X square plus y square. When z is expressed at the form of what? X plus y I forms. This is equivalent to what? The square root of, this is x square plus negative y square. Negative y square. Since negative y square is what? That is y square. This implies modulus of what? Z is equal to what? The modulus of what? It is conjugate. Here we have. So the same. If that's so, no need of finding the conjugate of this complex number, since they have the same modulus. And at the same time, what we have? We are familiar that the norm of what? Or modulus of z1 over z2 is equivalent to, this is equal to what? The modulus of what? Z1 divided by what? The modulus of what? Z2. We know such properties. If that's so, this implies that our modulus z is equals what? Modulus of 2 minus 4i divided by what? That is 1 plus I. This is equal to what? We have to take this, the modulus of the numerator and the denominator separately. This is 2 minus 4i modulus of the numerator divided by what? The modulus of its denominator, 1 plus I. What the modulus of the numerator is what? This is the square root of 2 square plus what? Negative 4 square. Here we have. Divided by the modulus of the denominator is what? The square root of 1 square plus 1 square. What 12? This is equal to what? 2 square means what? That is 4. Negative 4 square is what? 16. So this is equal to what? The square root of that is 20. Divided by 1 plus 1 is what? The square root of what? That is 2. Which is equal to, we can put it in the same square root. This is 20 divided by 2. But the value for this one, the square root of what? 20 divided by 2 is what? That is 10. So the value becomes what? The square root of 10. This is our choices. That is the correct one is what? A. The other option we consider here is that first you will try to find what? The rationalize this one. By rationalizing the denominator, we can find what? The norm of this. That means z is equal to what? This is 2 minus 4i divided by what? This is 1 plus I. When rationalize the denominator, this becomes what? 2 minus 4i divided by what? This is 1 plus I times both numerator denominator by what? The conjugate of the denominator. Here is 1 minus I divided by what? 1 minus I, the same number. We multiply this one, 2 times 1 is what? That is 2. 2 times minus I is what? That is minus what? Minus 2i. Minus 4i times 1 is what? That is minus 4i. Minus 4i times minus I is what? That means minus minus plus 4i square. 4i square means what? That is negative 4. Divided by, this is 1 times 1, that is 1. 1 times negative I, that is minus I times 1, that is I. Then I times I square is what? That is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1, that is plus 1. Which is equal to, collect real part sum or difference of what? Real with real, imaginary with imaginary. So 2 times minus 4 is what? That is negative 2. Negative 2i minus 4i is what? That is negative 6i. Divided by, the denominator becomes what? That is 2. Since we cancel this one by this one. What remains? This is equal to negative 2 into what? Negative 2 into 1 plus, here is 1 plus 3i. Here you have. So divided by 2. We cancel this by 2 1. The numerator this also what? By 2 1. What remains? This is equal to negative 1 minus 3i. Here you have. This is the value of what? Z is equal to this one. If that's so, we know that modulus of what? Z is equal to what? The modulus of its conjugate. So which is equal to what? The square of negative 1 square plus what? This is plus negative 3 square. Here we are. Negative 1 square is what? That is 1. Plus negative 3 square is what? That is 9. So their sum becomes what? Which is equal to the square root of 10. Here we have the same solution as we did before.